United Airlines Friendship Service. It comes from making things a little easier for someone else. We like to think it's catching.
Spread a little friendship, let it show, watch it grow. Feel it catching on now, everywhere you go. Come along, sing a song, people, now's the time. Reach out in friendship, round your land and mine.
We believe when you show a little extra friendship, sooner or later, it'll come right back at you.
The friendly skies of your land, United Airlines.
Richard Boone stars in The Great Niagara, the Tuesday movie, tomorrow.
We're back live at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a halftime score, and I must say we did not have an overwhelming amount of action. The Dallas Cowboys 7, the Philadelphia Eagles nothing. As for the second game in a row, the Eagles are failing to show much in the way of offense. In the first half, though, in the second quarter, Dallas scored, the result of a 90-yard drive in 12 plays, 9 of which were on the ground, engineered by Roger the Dodger Staubach. 2 completed passes, 1 incomplete. And you're looking at Doug Dennison, number 21, rookie from Touchdown State, who has a sign here in his behalf as he moves in for the score, getting perhaps the last yard and a half on his own. Then just before the half ended, Mac Percival tried a field goal from way out. It would have been a 48-yard kick. Well, more than that, really. And Joe Jones, Turkey Jones, number 64, blocked it. So our score, Dallas 7 and Philadelphia nothing. Now, our weekly halftime feature, of course. The highlights of the games that took place yesterday. The most exciting plays, some of the most important games. Halftime highlights are brought to you by White Owl. That's who. Here we go with the highlights. Number 22 of the Miami Dolphins in slow motion, as you see him, is Mercury Morris. Missed the game a week ago when the Patriots upset the Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins. But now in Rich Stadium, Buffalo, ready to go against the Buffalo Bills, who upset the Oakland Raiders last Monday night, 21-20. Buffalo takes an early 3-0 lead over the Dolphins. But in game action now, Bob Greasy, with the Dolphins trailing 3-0, throws a 1-yard touchdown pass to Jim Mandich, the tight end, number 88. The Dolphins lead 7-3. Moving on to third quarter action, it's Miami 14, Buffalo 3. But the Juice has a word for it and a run for it. Up the middle, 22 yards. Fumble into the end zone. Recovery by Ahmad Rashad. And Buffalo is back in the game at 14-9. The conversion missed. 3 minutes and 12 seconds gone in the fourth quarter. It's still 14-9. Watch Zonka, 39 block. Watch the accompanying block. And watch Mercury Morris, number 22, through the hole, cutting back, eluding tacklers, moving straight ahead, 17 yards. Touchdown, Miami is back, beating Buffalo 24-16. Little Mac Herron A refugee, in effect, from Canada in the football sense. Number 42 to the left of your screen. Sam Cunningham, number 39 to the right. The Patriots at Yale Bowl against the Giants. First quarter. The Giants with the ball. Snead, 16 to 30. Johnson. He breaks 2-3. Tackles in for the touchdown. The Giants take a first quarter 7-0 lead. It's 2 minutes or thereabouts remaining in the first quarter. 16 Plunkett to Little Mac Heron, 42 touchdown. The game is tied at 7-all. Moving to second quarter action. The Giants leading 14-7. Plunkett back in the pocket. Good protection. Downfield. Randy Vataha, 38 yards. Touchdown. 14-14 tie. In the second half, the Patriots moved ahead 21-14. And then Little Mac Heron again on a 4-yard sweep around the right side. 28-14. And on the Patriots went, unbeaten, 2-0 to win it, 28-20. Tommy Prothro, head coach, San Diego Chargers, fired previously by the L.A. Rams, determined to prove himself at Riverfront Stadium against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's Glenn Bonner, number 21, a rookie from Washington, moving in for a score. San Diego surprisingly leads 7-0. But that's Booby Clark, the converted tight end, had such a brilliant year a year ago. 12 yards, touchdown for the Cincinnati Bengals. At that point, Cincinnati goes on top 14-13. It's third quarter action. It's 17-13 now as San Diego begins to engineer a comeback drive. That was Don Fouts to Jim Burns. This is Don Fouts to the tight end, Gary Parrish. Who is Don Fouts? A second-year man, beginning to find himself in the National Football League. Now this is 3 plays later. And the handoff to Don Woods. Woods, number 33, racing upfield 21 yards to the Cincinnati 21. And a truly amazing upset is in the making. Now it's 3 plays later, and that's young Fouts himself. Touchdown plunge, quarterback sneak or rush, as you would call it. And San Diego amazingly upsets Cincinnati 20-17. Recognized head coach Don Coryell working miracles with the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's look at game action. The Redskins leading 3-0. Kilmer hit, fumbles. Ron Yankowski picks up the football. He will run unmolestedly downfield for a touchdown as the Cardinals assume a 7-3 lead over the Redskins, the very score by which they upset the Eagles a week ago. All right, it's 7-3. The pitch out to Terry Metcalf. Watch this young man accelerate. Now watch him high step. Nobody's going to touch this speedster. St. Louis goes ahead 14-3, winds up with another upset victory, 17-10.
Who makes it go mild as the breeze? Ooh, wild out that too. Great taste in tobaccos from 5 different countries. 2 for a quarter, you ought to know. You ought to know. White out that
The Denver Broncos in a huddle. John Ralston, their coach, exhorts them on. Mile High Stadium, Denver. The Broncos against the powerhouse Steelers. 4 minutes into the first quarter. Charlie Johnson, 12, throws to 24. Otis Armstrong out of Purdue, number 1 draft choice a year ago. And the Bronx take a 7-0 lead over the Steelers. But it's just 4 plays late. Jefferson Street Joe Gilliam sets up the screen to Steve Davis. Watch this young man go. The Steelers have nothing but talent. 1 tackle broken. Another tackler couldn't hang on to the hip. Still another. Steve cutting back across field. Steve Davis going 61 yards. Touchdown. The score is tied at 7. This Denver team, though, is a team that has arrived. That's Charlie Johnson throwing to Haven Moses. Still first quarter action. Touchdown. The Bronx lead it 14-7. And it's just a couple of minutes later. And that's John Keyworth in for a yard. And the score, Denver 21, Pittsburgh 7. Now, Charlie Johnson. This is the 3rd play in the 3rd quarter. Mean Joe Green comes in and hits it. Denver leading at the time 21-14. Charlie Johnson is put out of the game. What a ball game this was. 3:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The score tied at 21. Steve Ramsey now in at quarterback. Hits the tight end, Riley Odoms, who came on so strongly a year ago. Denver reassumes the lead at 28-21. But it doesn't take Jefferson Street Joe very long. He hits the rookie wide receiver who created such a commotion in the preseason play, John Stallworth. Good for 48 yards. And just 5 plays later, 35, Steve Davis again. Touchdown. That knotted the score at 28-28. Then the Pittsburgh Steelers moved ahead 35-28. We're midway in the 4th quarter. Ramsey back to throw. Hit as he throws, but he connects with little Otis Armstrong again. Touchdown. The score is tied at 35-35. Look at the scoreboard. 5 seconds left. Roy Garella about to attempt a game-winning field goal. The kick is blocked by Bill Thompson, number 36, out of Maryland State. That's what it was called then. And so the game went into overtime. And they played a full period, a scoreless full period. The score tied at 35-35. A disappointment for Chuck Knoll of the Steelers. Halftime highlights have been brought to you by Mild as a Breeze White Owl. That's who. And you see the score at halftime, 7-0. Dallas over Philadelphia. We're live at Veterans Stadium in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And you see more of the signs that populate the stands all the way around the entire arena. And with us again at halftime is our new colleague, number 71 of the Detroit Lions, Alex Garris. And I must say, Alex, you should be happy with this jacket. It's closer to a fit.
No, it's not. It's even worse than it was last week. This is Roone Arledge's coat. It's a size 44 with 3-inch sleeves, for crying out loud. I didn't know the man was deformed.
Arledge looks heavier to me than you do.
I'm enjoying this. This is quite a show, you know, and this is my 2nd time. And it's really a freak circus. I think this is terrific. The way you incite this whole crowd is amazing.
Look at that. Send me to the World Football League, which is where we brought you from. How do you like that? Listen, Alex, getting back to the game. The perplexing thing, the continued absence of offense on the part of the Philadelphia Eagles. The failure virtually ever to throw to 86, Charlie Young, the superb tight end. How do you account for it?
Well, I was going to say that. They haven't thrown to Charlie Young all night, and what I thought they were going to do, or what Roman usually does, is he plays a controlled offensive pass game. He throws an 8-yarder, a 9-yarder. He gets down the field. He doesn't throw a lot of bombs. Tonight he's come out and he's thrown Carmichael 6 or 7 times way down the field. It's not the Roman Gabriel that I thought I'd seeded this evening. On the other hand, Staubach came out, and with 2nd down and a few yards to go. He threw the ball, too, in the first quarter. So, consequently, I think both quarterbacks wasn't doing what I thought they'd do. So, consequently, you got a 7-0 score.
Staubach's efficiency materially improved.
When they started running the ball, Howard. They started running the ball, then they set up the pass.
Okay, now, look at that. World heavyweight. I don't want to fight you, Alex. Verbally? Yes, I'll match you in vocal truculence.
Vocal what?
Truculence.
It's so amazing.
Hey,
how
look at Roman there on the monitor. He can't be happy with himself.
No, he doesn't have a good. They only had 2 first downs the whole first half, and that's not like Roman Gabriel. I'm sure he's very upset about the whole thing. 3 for 9 is not a good night for Gabriel.
Well, what do you think they're going to do this half?
Well, there's no question that they're going to have to go back to what they do best, and that's to throw the short passes. They're definitely a passing game. They like to pass the ball, but they like to keep it short, and I think they're going to have to do that. Charlie Young's got to catch some passes tonight, or else they're not going to be able to put any score on them.
Well, they're going to have to get the ball first, and they're going to have to stop Dallas to do that. Dallas, as I recollect it, will be receiving at the start of this half, Philadelphia kicking off. Under any circumstances, we're close to the kickoff. Let's return it to the Gipper.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Alex. And ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles, is being brought to you by Sears Tire and Auto Centers, home of the Die-Hard battery and the Sears steel-belted radial tire, and by Lincoln Mercury, who invites you to see all their new 75s, including the new precision-size Monarch, Friday, September the 27th, the Day of the Cat. The second half about ready to get underway. The Dallas Cowboys leading the Eagles 7-0.
I'm a lineman. I depend on my car to get to work. Sometimes the weather is 20, 25 below. I never use anything but Prestone 2 winter-summer protection.
Only Prestone 2 has a patented silicate formula, the Prestone inhibitor system. Shields and preserves metal against rust and corrosion. Winter, summer, count on it. If you can't trust Prestone, who can you trust?
It does the job for me.
That's My Mama, Wednesday night at 8, 7 Central, here on ABC.
A jam-packed Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, over 65,000 fans on hand, as Tom Dempsey gets set to kick off the second half. The first half, the Cowboys dominated play, and certainly in first downs, but they lead by only 7-0. Dempsey kicks deep. It'll be taken by Dennis Morgan, a rookie from Western Illinois. And Morgan is hit at the 12-yard line and gets out to the 24-yard line. 23-yard return. Offensively for the Dallas Cowboys, we'll anticipate, of course, Roger Staubach being in there. Quarterback, his setbacks, number 32, Walt Garrison, and 44, Robert Newhouse. You came in late. We'll tell you that Calvin Hill, the all-pro fullback for the Cowboys, apparently re-injured a toe that he hurt last week against Atlanta. He will not be back in action. The wide receivers are 88, Drew Pearson, and Golden Richardson's 83. Right now, they go with the two tight ends. Billy Joe Dupree, 89, Puget, 84. Newhouse. And Newhouse goes down, and Bill Berge reads the play beautifully coming across, and the safety man, Randy Logan, came up quickly from his position.
There's no question about Berge taking the key on this particular play. The guard moved to his right, and so did Berge. Now watch Berge come right through. There he goes. He sees the play of the guard. He comes right out, knifes right through, does a good job. And then there's a back that comes up and moves up really quick on this play too.
Logan was there, and Steve Zabel, the linebacker, was also there. A loss of 4 yards, all the way back to the 20-yard line. John Nyland checks the snap number with Roger Staubach. That's the left guard for the Cowboys. Pearson motioning towards you. The play fake by Staubach. He goes with the screen over to his tight end. They go to 3, and that was spread beautifully. Bill Wynn, number 71, spread that screen to Dupree to perfection.
Well, we've only had a couple of plays from scrimmage, Alex, but Mike McCormick must have done something in that dressing room because the Eagles have come out all charged up.
Well, I certainly think there's a psychological lift, too, when they blocked that field goal that could have been very easily 10-0, and they're still in the ball game now at 7-0.
Another loss of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 19. And this is when the Eagles will really be turning it on. Staubach puts Pearson out to the left. He's picked up there by Joe Lavender. His other wide receiver, Pearson, goes out to the right to be picked up by John Outlaw. The Eagles in their prevent defense. 4 linebackers and 3 front men. Staubach, nevertheless, under pressure. Eludes Berge, then he goes down at the 24, chased there by Jerry Patton. Far short of the first down, and the Cowboys will have to turn it over to what appears to be a fired-up Eagle team. Calvin Hill looking on from the sideline. Hurt his big toe, re-injured his big toe in the first quarter. He will not be back into action. Marv Bateman comes in for Dallas. The single safety for Philadelphia, Bill Bradley, and he can be dangerous. Led the league in punt returns in 1971. Flags fly as Bradley calls for the fair catch at his own 40. 36-yard punt. Again, a flag is down.
I think there's an illegal procedure against Dallas on that particular play. I think that's what they're calling right now.
I think you're right. Mr. Bateman will... Well, they're going to accept it. They're going to decline the penalty and take the football.
All right. So Philadelphia will take over 1st and 10. They'll move from their own 40-yard line.
Newhouse apparently has injured something else now. He's getting taped up on it's the left leg he's getting taped up, shaking his head saying, man, I got to get back in there.
Would you have declined that penalty, Alex? Answer it later. We're back to the action.
All right, Roman Gabriel back at quarterback. Number 5 had his problems in the first half. His setbacks are 25. Sullivan, Boulash, 36. To Sullivan, and he runs right into the arms of big Bob Lilly. He maybe gets a yard. Wide receivers for Philadelphia, Don Zimmerman, number 80, Carmichael, 17, their tight end, Charlie Young.
There's one thing really you don't do against Bob Lilly, and that's not to block him. Nobody blocks Bob Lilly. He moves laterally as good as anyone does. I think there's an effort to block him, but he's moving right down the line. It's against Wayne Key, and he just knocks him right down. Knocks the ball carrier right down. Lilly's great laterally.
2nd down and 9.
There's a dog right there. That was a dog.
Cornell Green on the safety blitz. Cornell Green, the 13-year veteran. And we were talking about experience, Alex and Howard, earlier in the game. Interesting to me that Dallas, in their secondary of Waters, Green, Harris, and Renfro, and their linebackers, they have 56 years of experience. In contrast to the Eagles secondary, the same 7 players who have 26 years of experience.
Now they put Too Tall Jones in the defense to rush the passer. Let's see what kind of a job he does on this one.
And Harvey Martin is in there. Too Tall Jones is 72. He's a bit at the top of your screen. Jones is Martin is 79. The screen pass goes to Boulash. And Cliff Harris nails Boulash after a gain of 3.
And I mean, he nailed it. I still would not have declined that penalty and taken the football, Alex, to get back to my earlier question leading up to that whole sequence of downs. And Gabe is obviously upset with himself and I guess with the boos of the fans.
Well, he still had the ball in pretty good position on the 40. A lot of things could have happened had they kicked the ball over again. I think it did. I think I would have declined that penalty and taken it on the 40.
In any event, we see Merritt Kersey, the rookie from Westchester State, doing the punting for Philadelphia. And not a good kick. And is marked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Dallas will take over. 10:25 remaining in the third quarter. Dallas out in front of the Eagles, 7-0. We'll be back in Philadelphia after this.
Morocco. Blistering hot desert. Twisting, turning roads. If a set of tires could survive this kind of punishment, you'd figure that'd be proof enough. But it wasn't. We took the same set of Sears steel-belted radios that ran Morocco and put them on American roads to see what they had left. 72,400 miles later, they're still going strong. Radial design, 2 steel belts. The Sears steel-belted radio, only at Sears.
First he gets a new car, and I get the old one. Then he leaves his car in the garage, and mine sits outside. And now I have to give him a start. I know what I'd like to give him.
What, dear?
A Die Hard of your very own. Dear.
The Sears Die Hard. Ask the woman who owns one. Sold only at Sears.
Look at those halftime statistics, folks, as a vivid evidence of Philadelphia's offensive futility. 27 yards gained passing, only 47 rushing, and that's reflected in the first down figures, only 2 first downs. So clearly, Dallas has been dominant, though not overwhelmingly so. They've had their own deficiencies tonight. It's still a ball game.
And Philadelphia, with a weak punting game, again, has given Dallas good field position. They move now from their own 34-yard line. The 2 tight ends, Fugit and Dupree are there. This is Newhouse, and he slips and goes down. And Newhouse is not 100%. We told you Calvin Hill is out. Newhouse was hurt, and he came back into play.
Look at that fella's nose, Alex. Did that ever happen to you? Picard.
Well, you know, he has that darn face mask wide open up there in the middle. He should have a nose like that once in a while. I had the big rim around it. I couldn't get hit in the nose.
Never got damaged at all, did you, through all the years?
Absolutely not. I stayed away from everybody.
Second down now and 12. A loss of 2. The ball at the 32 of the Dallas Cowboys. 9:46 remaining in the third quarter. Flags flying all over the place. The pass goes out to William Houston, who hits the ball out to the 44-yard line, but again, flags are down. There was a gain of 13.
3 times Staubach has successfully used that precise pass pattern tonight, Alex.
Well, it's a safe pass pattern. If the receiver doesn't catch it, it's going to go out of bounds. It's what we like to consider a very safe way of throwing the football.
Roger the Dodger. He's written a new book, by the way, Giff, together with a couple of other gentlemen, published by Word. It's called Staubach, First Down, Lifetime to Go.
If he writes like he plays, it'll be worthwhile. Illegal procedure against Dallas. That makes a second down and 17. Pearson comes out on the pass situation to the bottom of your screen. Roger getting it off to Drew Pearson, but he can't hold on to it. Good coverage by Philadelphia. Roger again under pressure. And, Alex, this is one of the fine offensive lines in football. I think anyone will admit that, and yet it's not a great defensive line of Philadelphia. It's putting the pressure on.
They're playing stubbornly, and that was a dangerous ball to throw because 56, Dean Halverson, a former Ram who surprised the Eagles with his play this year. There's the inscrutable one. Not so inscrutable that time. Little show of anger. Halverson almost picked it off, and he'd had clear sailing.
Third down and 17.
I've noticed Staubach doesn't want to run the ball this year, Howard.
Staubach, and he gets it out there to Pearson, who has the first down, and he threw that in brilliantly. Staubach going back, slipped, and Pearson found that empty gap out there in the Eagles defense, and the Cowboys have a first down. They're inside the Eagle territory at the 48.
You know, it's tough when you're playing defense and you're going into the last half and you play, as good as you can play, and you get no offense at all. Defensive ball players get a little upset about it. Once in a while, they'll run over the quarterback and say, "How much is a touchdown?" They figure maybe they don't know anymore. In our case, our quarterback used to yell out, 5 points.
The Staubach started out 0 for 6. He's now 10 of 20 for 113 yards. Newhouse. And Patton holds on to Newhouse after he gains 2, down to the 46. Robert Newhouse out of the University of Houston. Gained almost 3,000 yards there, scoring 19 touchdowns. Filled in last year behind Calvin Hill when he was injured last year. Got a lot of experience as a rookie and has paid off. Because Calvin Hill, as Howard mentioned, will be one of those 6 members of this Dallas team that will be moving on to the WFL in the future. 2nd down and 8. And Garrison this time picks up a couple of yards as Philadelphia toughens up. Gary Patton in there to make the stop. Actually, there were 8 members originally of this Cowboy unit that signed with the WFL. 2 of them were traded, Otto Stowe and Mike Montgomery.
Exactly right. You talk about toughening up. We've got a team next Monday night that's really toughened up. The Denver Broncos of Johnny Ralston with an awful lot of talent. Charlie Johnson will be back in action. Shoulder injured yesterday, but he'll be back against the Redskins.
From the nation's capital next Monday night. But right now, the Cowboys look over a 3rd down and 7. They're at the 45-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a slim lead of 7-0. Garrison open in the flat, and Roger dumps it off. Garrison trying for the first down, and he's very close to it. Tackle finally by Steve Zabel and number 20, John Outlaw. Well, let's see if they allow him that stretch. Garrison, well, he never gives up. He's not going to be the big play for you. He's not going to be the big play man for you, but he stays in there all the time, and he never seems to play. And this time he battles for the first down. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Right now, let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
Well, there, ladies and gentlemen, is Too Tall Jones. 12 foot 8, 8,621 pounds, and breathes fire.
What did they say last week? He had 3 sacks, he blocked 2 passes, and he had 5 scares. Incredible game as a rookie in his first game against Atlanta. Dallas, 1st and 10. They're on the 39-yard line of Philadelphia. Dominating in possession, if not the scoreboard. However, they lead 7-0. Newhouse nailed right at the line of scrimmage. Zabel and Patton is playing a fine football game. Gary Patton, the defensive right tackle.
He is. He's been in a lot of plays tonight. This is a critical series, I think, for the Eagles. They must hold to stay in this ball game, Alex. Dallas has been chewing up the clock the whole quarter. We have about 6 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter.
And so far Dallas has not been scored on. They were scoreless. No one could score on them last week, and of course this week Atlanta didn't do it. Maybe the Eagles won't be able to do it.
2nd down, a little more than a yard for Dallas. Roger with the screen. He goes out to Drew Pearson. Neely, the big tackle, is out in front, as was Nyland. Pearson coughs up the football, but it goes out of bounds. A gain of 8. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. Big, swift offensive lineman for the Cowboys. That time you saw Ralph Neely, the 10-year veteran, at 260 pounds, moving out in front of that play. Important down now for the Cowboys. And the 2 tight ends are back in the game. Billy Joe Dupree, number 89, James Duguid, number 84. Ordinarily, you would anticipate the run. And getting the call is Garrison, and Garrison is close to another first down.
you see that face of Picard's a moment ago, Alex?
There's no mistaking. He has a deviated septum.
Just a little scratch. That's all. That's all. That comes from a man who was sent to the hospital by Chuck Bednarik and regards anything less than that as only a minor injury.
That was a little more than a scratch. That smarted a great deal. All right, and just that much are they short. The Dallas Cowboys will have a fourth down. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Alex Karras. 5 minutes and 31 seconds remain in the third quarter from Philadelphia. The Cowboys and the Eagles. The Cowboys lead 7-0.
Well, you know, the Cowboys are doing what I thought they were going to do. They came out the second half. They start to run the football, and that's what they do best, and that's exactly how they're getting down the field right now.
Interesting, too. A year ago, you would have screamed the field goal unit on the team. However, you do not now. Cowboys on fourth down and inches will go for it. Staubach with the rollout and was almost nailed. He was nailed. Getting in there quickly was Willie Cullers, the rookie from Kansas State. Willie Cullers was not expected to play, and he maybe has made the play of the night for Philadelphia.
Well, let's get a look at this flag situation. Willie Cullers has been the most impressive rookie in the Eagles camp.
And let's see what the call is. With the intentional ground, the illegal forward pass, and with that goes lost it down. Philadelphia takes over. But again, it was Willie Cullers who got in there and put that pressure on. But Philadelphia, who seemed to be fired up earlier in this second half, has a great opportunity. They move from their own 43. Gabriel going to Zimmerman. Kickoff. Charlie Waters. Charlie Waters picks it off. There's a firecracker. Goes off in our booth. I hope it was. Charlie Waters intercepts for Dallas. Returns it to the 30-yard line.
I don't know who threw that thing in this booth. If anybody did. But it is not an evidence of civilized procedure. You all right, Alex?
Well, let me get my head out of the wall right here, and I'll be okay. Wow. I just leaped 14 feet in the air.
I know you did. So did Frank. So did I.
First and 10 for Dallas. They're at the 24-yard line. Charlie Waters with the key interception, and Philadelphia unable to get any kind of offensive moving. Newhouse gets a couple of yards down to the 21.
That was Gabe's most dismal moment. He lobbed that pass. You know that, Alex?
He's not throwing the ball with authority tonight. I was surprised at what Staubach did with the fourth down and a half a yard, coming out and trying to throw the ball. I couldn't understand that at all. I thought they had the eye and had that lead block in there, and then let the fullback pick up that half a yard.
Bill Houston, number 86, is in for Drew Pearson, a wide receiver for Dallas, on second down and 7. Rogers flooding his backs, and he gets in trouble as Patton gets his hands on him, and he cannot get the pass off to Billy Joe Dupree, at least where he could catch it. But Gary Patton this time was pressuring Staubach.
Well, I'm surprised, I shouldn't say surprised, because it's a young defensive line that Philadelphia has, but they're putting pressure on Staubach tonight. There's no question about it, and I think that McCormick has really gotten these guys playing football.
All right, look at Pat now. That's John Nyland, the all-pro guard for Dallas that he's beating. And it just threw Staubach's timing off enough that he could not get the ball to Dupree. Third down now and 7. The two wide receivers are back in now, Golden Richards and Drew Pearson. Going for Pearson, complete. First down, right on target for Roger Staubach. Joe Lavender was covering, and he wasn't covering that poorly. It's just a difficult pass to cover when the receiver and the quarterback are in sync. Let's look again, and again Staubach with that perfect timing, just almost impossible to cover. Man for man, when things All the timing comes together. Pearson now, 6 receptions, 87 yards. After the first week, he was tied for the lead. He caught 5 against Atlanta. He should be well up there again after this week, or after tonight. From the 10-yard line, here comes Newhouse. Newhouse pulling his little way down to the 7-yard line. Gain of 3, it'll be 2nd down and 7. 3:36 remaining in the third quarter. The Eagles, who lost their opener to St. Louis, against the Cowboys, who won their opener against Atlanta. Cowboys out in front, 7-0. Newhouse again, goodbye, but a flag flies. Oh, and did he blow through there? But again, a flag is down. And the Eagles seem to be indicating that it's going to go against Dallas. No, offside. Philadelphia holding against Dallas, offsetting. And Jerry Patton seems to be shaken up. Number 77. He's had a fine football game thus far for the Eagles, and he'll get some relief as Mitch Sutton comes in, number 79.
Mike McCormick is apparently limbering up Johnny Reeves, the youngster from the University of Florida. And yet, he knows that Gabriel is his key guy for the year. It's a difficult time for McCormick.
On 2nd down and 7. Cowboys come right back with the same play. They scored on, but was called back. This time they get about 3 yards out of it. They're inside the 5. They'll probably mark it at about the 3.5. Bill Dunston was there to make the stop with Philadelphia with a lot of help from his friends. John Reeves came up a couple of years ago, had a big shot in 72. Just couldn't quite pull it all together when Mike McCormick came to the Eagles. He said, I want the number 1 quarterback, the big man that can do it all for me. So Reeves went to the bench. Gabriel took over. But we'll see. Reeves may be coming back into the game when Philadelphia gets the ball. Cowboys 1 timeout. We'll be back in Philadelphia after this.
I have 2 weaknesses, piano players and Americans. This is Charlie from Kansas City. Even a shirt does something to me. It's Brigade from our French collection.
Sing, Marie, sing.
Tais-toi. Where regular shirts are full and glossy, Brigade is for men who are sleek and trim. It lets you see what a man's build is like while his shirt is on.
Arrow. No wonder American men look so good.
Beef ragu. A dish you might not cook unless your dishwasher could handle the mess. The new GE Pot Scrubber 2 dishwasher can. It's got room for big pots, a tough new interior which won't chip, peel, or rust ever. And listen to this. It's really quiet. To help you out of some tough scrapes, get the incredible Pot Scrubber 2 dishwasher.
From General Electric, America's #1 major appliance value.
Staubach has just talked to head coach Tom Landry. Coming back out on the field, the Cowboys have a 3rd down and a 3. They could possibly make a 1st down at the 1-foot mark. But, of course, they're more concerned with getting in. Craig Morton, who will be moving on to the WFL, signed with Houston. We understand that Houston now will be operating in Shreveport. Backfield. This is Dennison, and Dennison pounds and fumbles. Oh, goodbye. Oh, look at this. A foot race with Staubach. He's going to go all the way on it. Can you believe that? Oh, Joe Lavender, 97 yards. Oh, Joe Lavender. Football. It never fails, Frank. Unbelievable. Boy, to that doesn't spark things up.
That's Philadelphia's first touchdown of the year, and they got it on defense.
That's going to be a record. That's 97 yards.
How about that? Joe Lavender being congratulated. Dennison, the rookie from Goodtown State, Pennsylvania, gave it all he had, running out of control, trying to get in there for his second touchdown of the night, coughed it up, and Lavender picked it up, outran Staubach for 97 yards.
His glasses stood him in good stead. He saw the football all right.
Tom Dempsey will attempt to tie it up, and indeed he does. Take a look at that again, and you'll see Dennison, who really running with abandon for the goal line and is really nailed. We'll try and pick out exactly the man who was it. Gave him the tough lick, and I guess you'd have to say it's Bill Berge. Now look at the scramble. And you better believe he has speed because Roger Staubach isn't slow. He had a good angle, and yet Lavender used every inch of the playing field, getting to the sidelines and just turn it on. And what a thrill for the second-year man from San Diego State.
Look at his glasses, Jeff.
Well, the nickname is the Birdman. And he has got to be one thrilled youngster tonight. Wowie.
Well, I said that twice before.
2:16. Remaining in the third quarter, and it's all tied up.
Well, now you see what you're part of, Alex Karras. Every week, something goes crazy. Zany, zany, zany.
I'll tell you one thing. Someone must be talking to both these teams before we go on with them. I'll tell you that.
Tom Dempsey to kick off. This will be... Well, Strayhorn is battling with Dennis Morgan. And it was, you take it, no, you take it. And as it turns out, Dallas will have to begin in the hole at the 10-yard line. And if you're wondering about Lavender possibly having set a record, Alex mentioned it, and the record was set by Jack Tatum against Green Bay in 72, Alex, 104 yards.
That's right, but let's look at this again, Alex.
This is you get a cat, no, I'll get a cat. No, you get a cat.
Strayhorn finally falls on it, but a 97-yard fumble return can upset a lot of things.
You think the Eagles are sky high now, Frank?
Oh, you better believe. Staubach, and he hands off to Walt Garrison, and Garrison pulls Eagle tacklers with him over the 15 to the 17.
As Dallas is now determined to attack, and make up for it. Let's have another look at that play that resulted in the Philadelphia touchdown. Here we go again.
Well, he's got all the blockers out in front of him. Dennison does a good job. He cuts in. He's fighting for everything he got. Berge really unloads on him.
Yep, that's what did it.
And there it goes.
Good hands by Lavender on that play.
Second down and 3. Dallas trying to pull it back together again. They hand off to Garrison, and Garrison will lose a couple. Bill Johnston, number 61, moving across to make the stop. Landry.
Giff mentioned that now official record of 104 yards on a fumble return by Tatum. If you remember that play, Giff, the officials made a mistake. But it was allowed to go through, and it's a new official record. Harold Carmichael, number 17, waiting to get into action.
Big down for the Dallas Cowboys. Third down, they'll pull it along, too. The ball resting just short of the 19-yard line, their own 19. And they will not get the first down. Newhouse tripped up by Will Wynn and then nailed by Bill Berge.
Well, we got a football game with 35 seconds left and counting down in the third quarter. We're at 7-7. Maybe the Eagles don't deserve it. The Cowboys were pushing them all over the field. But in the clutch, at the goal line, the rookie who scored the earlier touchdown fumbled. Lavender recovered, went 97 yards, and that was it. And Bill Berge, 66, whom you sing on that play, is having himself some night tonight.
Marv Bateman, the punt for Dallas. The single safety for Philadelphia, a dangerous one, Bill Bradley. Bateman nails it. Bradley at his own 45. Whoa, and boy, does he go down. Getting down there quickly was Mark Washington, number 46 for Dallas. 7-7, and that is the end of the third quarter. We'll be back in Philadelphia right after this.
Around here, it's always bumper to bumper. I got to concentrate full time on my driving, so I use the racing version of the STP double oil filter. With a filter and a filter, I know I don't have to worry about the protection my engine's getting. Of course, I don't know what kind of traffic you drive in, but when I go to work, man, it's always rush hour.
Get filter in a filter protection for your car. The STP double oil filter.
Georgie, you are about to see the investment idea of the century.
Al.
The electric fork.
Oh, Al.
I can get you in on the ground floor.
Al, I've got my money invested in something else.
More and more people are discovering savings accounts at Savings and Loans. The return is substantial, and your money is insured up to $20,000 by an agency of the federal government.
Al, is this the same guy who invented the folding waterbed?
That's not funny, Georgie. I almost drowned.
Your Savings and Loan wants you to know how money works.
You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports, and that's the end of the third quarter with the score Dallas 7, Philadelphia 7. We'll return after this word from our local station.
Watch Happy Days tomorrow night at 8, 7 Central, here on ABC.
Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, a few moments ago, you saw Dallas punt to Philadelphia. A fair catch was called for by Bill Bradley. However, as the third quarter ended, Dallas was detected with ineligible receivers downfield, so they will punt again. Marv Bateman will punt to Bill Bradley. Bradley standing just at midfield with a fine opportunity to put Philadelphia in good field position. And even better than he anticipated, as it goes off the foot of Marv Bateman. And it will be marked at the 38-yard line. The game tied at 7 apiece.
And Mike McCormick now forgets all about John Reeves, the youngster from Florida. He plays it safe, Alex. He goes back with the veteran Gabriel, as bad a night as Roman has been having.
Well, he's got to go with the experience now, and Gabriel can get him in.
All right, the two setbacks are Sullivan, 25, and Poe James, known as number 27. He has replaced Boulash. This is Sullivan. Turning the corner, gets the first down. He gets down to the 25, inside the 25, before he's dragged down by his jersey by Leroy Jordan.
The best ground gain all night by the Philadelphia Eagles. As we look at it again, and in the third quarter, Philadelphia had the ball for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Only 4 plays. Look at Sullivan moving ahead. Jerry Sizemore, the #1 draft choice of a year ago, got in a good block there, number 76. They had the ball 4 plays in the third quarter, and they tied the score.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line of Dallas. Sullivan gets the call again, and this time he coughs it up, and have they ruled it dead? Yes, they have. Oh, and how about Carmichael taking it out of the hands of Cornell Green, all for nothing, of course, because the ball had been ruled dead where Sullivan made contact with the ground. 8-yard pickup. 21 quick yards by Sullivan in the last 2 plays. Watch this now. Carmichael will come back. He thinks that Cornell Green maybe had recovered. Second down. Call it a long 2. The ball at the 17 or the 18. Sullivan again, or rather Poe James this time trying the middle, running into Bob Lilly, Jordan, and Jethro Pugh.
We're going to show you Joe Lavender now, the guy who just went 97 yards. There he is. There's his glasses. Look at his eyes popping out there. I've never seen a guy play with glasses on before. I think he can get away with it because he plays really in the backfield. He doesn't make a lot of contact. If he played up in the middle of the line, he'd get him cracked every other play.
A most happy fella.
97 yards. He went with the Cowboys' fumble to tie it up just a few moments ago. Third down, an important situation for Philadelphia at the moment. They tried to run on this situation on 3 different occasions. They try again, they fail again. 3 times now, Philadelphia has been turned back on the 3rd and a long 2 situation trying to run it. Dallas tough against the run. Now it's going to be 4th down. And Tom Dempsey comes out onto the field. A big moment for Tom Dempsey, who kicked one from 44 yards last week.
There's no question that these teams hate each other. Now watch Charlie Smith get a nice little popper. Number 85. Watch him give a little pop. Left of your screen. Watch it now. Wacko! Let's get it one more time. I love this. This is football, folks. Wacko.
39 yards out, Tom Dempsey, or rather 34 yards out. Dempsey will attempt to untie this football game. And Dempsey knew before anyone that he had made it. Philadelphia moves out in front of Dallas 10-7. Tom Dempsey, the holder of the NFL record for the longest field goal at 63 yards, is over to be congratulated by head coach Mike McCormick.
It's incredible. The Eagles are ahead with no offense at all. Look at Dempsey there after the kick. They were minus 3 yards for the 3rd quarter.
We'll be back right after this.
Over the past 3 years, we've put models of Continental up against the other luxury car in televised tests of riding comfort and driving ease. And in these tests, a majority of owners of that other car picked the Continental over their own make. This is the 1975 Lincoln Continental Town Coupe, redesigned and re-engineered to challenge the other luxury car. We asked these owners of that other luxury car what they thought of our redesigned Town Coupe.
Extremely luxurious. I think this has fine lines.
We asked them to try out the Town Coupe.
I was impressed with the ease of steering. A great pleasure to drive.
And they looked over our restyled town car at the luxury of its interior. They saw the new Mark IV, timeless, classic. A nationwide survey projects that in the last 3 years, over 33,000 drivers of that other car switched to Continental. Introducing the 1975 Continentals. Judge any luxury car by our car.
Tom Dempsey, who just hit from 34 yards out to put the Eagles ahead 10-7. As Howard pointed out, the Eagles' big offense has been perfecting of the fumble return because they were minus 3 yards in the 3rd quarter. But they lead 10-7. Dempsey set to kick to Dennis Morgan and Les Strayhorn. This will be Dennis Morgan. And it was Dempsey that made the stop. Otherwise, Morgan might have gone all the way. Tom Dempsey.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you something, and this is why they call this kickoff team the Suicide Squad. They're coming right down. Watch 52, Riley. There goes one. Goodbye. There's a 1.5 kip.
What was that?
1.5 kip. Or is it a tuck?
Dallas takes over. They'll move from their own 43-yard line. They've had all the offense, but they trail on the scoreboard. Golden Richards, very close to the first down, right in front of his own bench. Joe Lavender covering Richards. gain of 9. Here comes the messenger man, Gene Fugit, with the play from head coach Tom Landry. 11:39 remaining in the game from Philadelphia. The temperature, the beginning of the evening, 55 degrees. It has now dropped into the middle 40s. Second down, call it less than a yard. Play fake by Staubach. Complete to Drew Pearson. Pearson has it at the 35, another Dallas first down. Covered there by John Outlaw and dropped by Outlaw.
Here comes a match between Outlaw and Pearson, and every time they seem to need a big down, they go to Pearson. Outlaw does a pretty good job. He backs up. He's supposed to do exactly that. He beat him a little bit to the inside on that. Pearson goes up a nice catch, and here comes Outlaw on it. It's a very pretty catch, Howard.
Outlaw can't cover him one-on-one. Not only does Pearson outmove him, but he's too big for him.
First and 10 for Dallas. They're on the 33-yard line of Philadelphia. Newhouse getting a real fine block from Garrison. The lead back through, and Newhouse has another Dallas first down. What if we could get a look at that again? You'll see why Garrison is so valuable in that backfield. Now watch him.
All right.
Leading it right through the hole.
And watch Newhouse.
Look at that block.
Yep, and this is what I mean about a fast Don Nottingham. He's had a big night tonight, Robert, with those damaged ribs.
Newhouse all the way down to the 18-yard line. 20 carries, 88 yards on the night. Oh, the crowd has quieted somewhat as they were yelling a moment ago. Staubach goes to the air looking for Pearson, and this time fine coverage by Outlaw. Oh, he did a fine job on it.
You know, that is, Alex, Mr. Dempsey.
63 yards. I ran all the way down when he kicked that one, and I lit a match. I thought he had helium in that ball, for crying out loud.
You know, we kind of overlooked what a super play he made in stopping Dennis Morgan on that kickoff. Dennis Morgan could have gone for a touchdown, and Tom Dempsey moved over there and made the stop. Second down and 10. Ball at the 18. Here comes Newhouse, bouncing through and finally going down in the arms of Berge. Boy, he is a little fire plug. He really scoops around. It's kind of hard for those linebackers to see, I think, circulating around there behind the offensive line and the defensive linemen.
Well, Blaine Nye and John Nylander do a good job right now in the middle.
When you look at that graphic, the Cowboys 314 yards, the Eagles 93. And the Eagles leading 10-7. 63 plays for Dallas, 34 for Philadelphia.
Third and 4, the ball's at the 12.
You can understand Landry not looking happy.
Staubach trickles it off to Garrison. Very close to the first down. It will depend on where they mark it. Steve Zabel was right there. Actually, Staubach was trying to go to Pearson. He was again covered well by Outlaw. And it will be short of the first down, and out comes the field goal unit.
Well, they got a half a yard to go. Howard,
Landry is doing the right thing. Put the points on the board. You got 8 minutes and 50 seconds left. Plenty of time. Dallas has dominated the game offensively all night. Offensively, Philadelphia has done nothing. Dallas can get the ball back and go on the victory. Tie it up now, Alex.
I agree with you.
Well, Landry will be glad to hear that. And we all agree. Good from the 26-yard line, from 26 yards out. And it is tied up, 10 apiece. And we'll be back in Philadelphia right after this message.
Come on, baby, you don't quit on us. I knew we shouldn't have bought this boat. Hey, she's running! You did it! You didn't do it. Oh, maybe it's flooded. Flooded? Yeah, well, if you think you can do any better, play. Go on. Yeah, I guess. Go on at it. Let's see. We'll grab this wire. Right. Hey, come on. Hand me a wrench.
When you only go around once, you learn to reach for the gusto in life. In everything. Even your beer. That's why there's Schlitz. Why settle for less?
8 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the game for Philadelphia. It's tied at 10 apiece. Keep in mind, if it remains tied, we'll go into a sudden death period. Mac Percival set to kick off for Dallas. He'll be kicking to Bo James, 27. 33, Randy Jackson. And this will be Bo James at his 6th, and he bobbles the ball. And he comes up with it, and down he goes at the 17-yard line. Again, Mark Washington getting down there quickly to make the stop. Mark Washington, dangerous on the special team.
Well, Frank mentioned the temperatures have fallen down into the 40s. What was it John Keats said, Frank? Autumn, I see the kid sitting careless on the greenery floor.
You know he could have. First and 10 for the Eagles from their own 17. Tom Sullivan in the middle, gets about 3 yards out to the 20. Dallas led early in the game. Doug Denson went in. Dennison went in for 4 yards out to make it 7-0 Dallas. And Joe Lavender tied it all up. In the third quarter, he went 97 yards with a Doug Dennison fumble. Philadelphia had a 34-yard field goal, and Percival has just kicked one from 26 yards out. Second down and 7. The ball right at the 20. Gabriel has Poe James wide open.
Look at that.
Get up, Poe. Somebody blew something. 34-yard gain. Had he been able to hit him in stride, there would have been no Cowboy close to Poe James. You'll see Poe James coming out of the backfield. He's at the bottom of your screen. And obviously, somebody made an error. Whether it was D.D. Lewis, a linebacker, we don't know.
Frank, we were discussing about center field. When that guy goes, when the safety goes away from that center field, they like to hit the middle, and that's what they did with Poe James. They had an awful lot of time to throw the ball. When you get a back that goes that far down the field, you're not getting any rush.
Well, the Eagles again in fine field position. And Poe James picks up 6 more yards. He's down to the 40. It'll be second down and 3.
If Gabe had thrown that ball a foot shorter, it was touchdown.
6:46 and the clock moving here in Philadelphia. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Alex Karras. Zimmerman wide to the right for Gabriel. Duchesne looking under Guy Morris at center. With Tom Sullivan off the right side. He'll be short of the first down. He'll get 2 yards down to the 38. Hit there by Cornell Green.
They're about 2 short here, Giff. What do? Go in the ground for it or put it in the air?
With the success they've had in this situation, you almost have to go up in the air.
You know, I think
they tried it over and over, Alex, and have had no success at all.
You know, also, I think they must really be jamming up Young. That linebacker must be doing a good job. He hasn't even been getting out of the line of scrimmage, Howard.
Hasn't been in the game.
They have converted 1 time in 10 attempts on third down. And this is a critical one. Gabriel missed a handoff. And it's his best third down play of the night.
I have seen it all. A busted play. Roman, who runs 1 foot every 10 seconds, goes up the middle. First down.
Clock ticking away. Tied up at 10 apiece. There's the missed handoff.
He couldn't get it to him.
Either that or he didn't want it. First and 10 for Philadelphia. They're at the 32-yard line now of Dallas. To Sullivan. Sullivan nailed after a gain of about 1.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing. They haven't run the ball all night, and now they're running the ball. I think really what they're trying to do is they're trying to get in a position to get that field goal, Howard. I don't think they want to take any chances in throwing the ball. All of a sudden now they've turned from the passing game to the running game.
Well, they got to get a little closer for field goal. Although not if Tom can do what he did against you guys those years back.
Second down and 9. The ball's at the 31-yard line.
There he goes.
Carmichael, and he holds on. He has a first down. He's inside the 20. Big Harold Carmichael, the biggest target in the game today. Here he is against Charlie Waters. Waters turns him loose to Cliff Harris, the free safety.
Frank,
and they hit right between.
Excuse me, that's what we were talking about, a controlled passing game. Now he's going 8 and 6 yards instead of going for that bomb all the time.
Which is his better range.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Ball is on the 18-yard line. First and 10, Philadelphia. Clock moving. 4 minutes remaining on the scoreboard clock. And Tom Sullivan tripped up going over the right side.
Well, at the exactly critical moment coming into our booth, when the Eagles are belaboring the Dallas Cowboys, as they always seem to do here in Philadelphia, we have been joined by the relic of the past, our old friend. Let's get that camera turned around. Right after this play gift takeover, Dandy Don Meredith is here.
Second down and 10. The ball is at the 18-yard line. Sullivan, the hole in the left side, and he gets 7 yards. He's down just short of the 10-yard line.
Wait a minute.
Oh, my
God.
recovered. Fumbled the ball, and Dallas has recovered. Dallas has recovered.
Take a look into the camera, Dandy.
Son of a gun. Howard, how's it? Alex, how you doing?
I'm fine, Don.
Well, I'm glad. Here it is in Philadelphia, and Howard's in the second half. I'm really delighted to hear about that.
The betting odds were against it.
Yes, they were. What's happening out there tonight?
What's happening? Your old buddy Dave Edwards just came up with the fumble for Dallas when they were in a lot of trouble.
I was really upset when they went for that field goal a while ago. Why did they do that? Howard, you always had those answers. Why did they do that?
I wanted him to go for it. Karras and Gifford agreed. Put the points on the board. There was a lot of time
There's the
left.
man on the screen right there that did it. He says, I'm going to go for 3. They've got it tied up here. Now, how you guys are doing? Take it away, Frank.
All right, first and 10 for Dallas. It's tied up at 10 apiece. 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the game. They must move from their own 11. And Newhouse is nailed by Berge.
Sandy, what
Dean
happens to the Dallas team against Philadelphia? Once a year, the Eagles give them fits.
I don't know. They beat them last year, which is a real surprise. I really don't know. It seems that Dallas just doesn't quite get it together. Dallas has a really good team, and the Eagles are struggling. What do you think?
I think you got a problem down there. I think they've benefited by your presence, though, in the recent... What? Do you miss us, kid?
I miss you a lot, Howard. You're doing a super job. Frank, get it again. There he is.
Second down and 11. Newhouse lost 1, and this time Robert Newhouse comes back and picks up a couple of those yards.
That Newhouse is a little swift Don Nottingham.
He is a little swift Don Nottingham. And there's the Dupree. It's not LG either. It really is. You guys do a good job. Let's see if Dallas can get something working here. Just want to come by and say, hey, do it good.
Okay, Dandy. Nice to see you.
Third down and 7. Clock ticking, and the Cowboys are apparently waiting for the 2-minute warning. Looking away as Roman Gabriel looking on from the sidelines. They were so close when they fumbled the ball, turning over for the 3rd time tonight. We'll be back in a moment.
Flair Super Pens, now with a point guard, a super hard tough plastic shield. Won't mush down. Point guard, tough keeps fine lines fine, won't mush down. Bold lines bold, won't mush down. Makes Flair one pen that always writes just the way you feel, time after time after line after line. Flair, the super pen, now with the tough point guard, won't mush down. Flair.
Yes, I'd like a butane lighter, please.
Which one?
Oh, they're all about the same.
I wish you hadn't said that.
Cricket lighter is really quite a light. It'll last for months and still burn bright with thousands of sure fire lights and a flame that adjusts to different heights.
That's no ordinary cricket.
Well, cricket's no ordinary lighter.
Catch a cricket for $1.49 by Gillette.
2 minutes left in the game from Philadelphia. 2 minutes at least left in the 4 regulation quarters. Should it be tied, as it is, as of the moment, at 10 apiece, we will move into a sudden death period. Tom Landry looking on and feeling much relieved, I'm sure, because the Eagles apparently were on their way to winning this football game, or at least going out in front, breaking that tie when they fumbled the football. Right now, the Cowboys have a 3rd down and 7. They're on their own 13-yard line as Mike McCormick looks on in his 2nd year as a head coach. Great player with the Cleveland Browns, coached under Otto Graham of Washington, Vince Lombardi. George Allen came here last year and has turned the Eagles around. On 3rd down. And the effort complete to Pearson. Out of bounds at the 22-yard line. 1st down, Dallas.
That same pattern, Alex, all night to Pearson. That sideline pass.
Almost unstoppable, it seems like right now.
Just such a timing thing between the quarterback and the receiver. And, of course, finding a situation when the cornerback is going to be man for man on the receiver.
Pearson's caught 8 for 107 yards thus far tonight. Not a bad performance.
5 last week. Not a bad start. On 1st down. Saw back. Picked off by Randy Logan.
I don't believe it.
Not a ball that could have been thrown.
I do not believe this, Alex.
Well, that ball, like Frank said, it shouldn't have been thrown. I think he threw what we call cross course, and he didn't have to do that at all. I think if he did anything, he should eat the ball or just throw it way out of bounds on this one. He took a big chance. It's a big gamble here. The receiver wasn't even close to it, Howard.
All right, a big break for Philadelphia. They've had a few tonight. And not much offense, not a whole lot more defense, but they have had the break. I guess you could say they have made their breaks. They caused a fumble that gave them a 97-yard touchdown. Bo James over the right side. Clock moving at 1:42. Still not stopped by the Eagles. They have 3 timeouts remaining. And they are going to try and get it within the range, the field goal range of Tom Dempsey. Tom kicked a 44-yarder last week against St. Louis. He's kicked a 34-yarder tonight. 2nd down and 8. Clock still moving. Sullivan. And down goes Sullivan. In the arms of Pat Toomey.
Well, Gabriel is playing safe now. Looking for the field goal, but Dempsey's going to have a pretty long kick.
And, of course, keeping in mind that the game does not end tied at 10 apiece.
As Denver and Pittsburgh proved yesterday in our first overtime regular season game of the year.
I'll tell you, I used to gear myself to play 16 minutes. After that, I don't think I could have made it 15 more.
3rd down and 10.
Sound like the Players
Gabriel will do. Gabriel, and this time he threw the ball down on the ground. I don't see any possible receiver, but apparently it will not be called.
Bobby Martin is unhappy with the call, or the absence of the call.
4th down, and out comes Tom Dempsey. 31 seconds remaining on the clock. And Dempsey will be kicking from about 45, 46 yards. And, well, what can you say?
In 3 plays, Gabriel negotiated a half-yard.
Bill Bradley does the holding. It'll be from 45 yards. Well, now Bradley moves back, make it 46.
Close your eyes if you're for Dallas. That looks good.
It is good. Dempsey does it again. Tom Dempsey does it again. They're mobbing him. He saved this game in more ways than one. He stopped Dennis Morgan after he kicked off the last time, and Morgan would have gone all the way probably if Dempsey had not made the tackle.
Doggone it, if anyone's going to kick a field goal, I'd like to see Tom Dempsey do it. Even though he beat us and he's beaten Dallas tonight, he's a terrific guy and a great competitor. Here's a guy who really shouldn't even be on a football field, but he still likes to play the game.
25 seconds remaining in the game. The Eagles have moved out in front of Dallas 13-10. And we'll be back.
New tires must meet U.S. government safety standards. These tires are doing just that. Only these tires aren't exactly new. They're the same set of Sears steel-belted radials that ran the back roads of Morocco. And after Morocco, this same set of tires ran American roads. Ran a total of 72,400 miles. After all that punishment and all those miles, the tires still look remarkably good. To prove how good they really are, we're testing them against the safety standards new tires must meet. And these Sears steel-belted radials not only meet those standards, they exceed everyone. That's something to think about the next time you buy a new set of tires. Radial design, 2 steel belts. The Sears steel-belted radial, only at Sears.
Tom Dempsey sets it up. He kicked a 34-yard field goal earlier. He saved a possible Dallas touchdown with a tackle on a kickoff. And he hit from 46 yards out a few moments ago to put the Eagles out in front of Dallas 13-10.
And he's not signed to a contract. They're letting him play out his option. Maybe after this, there'll be a management change.
25 seconds on the scoreboard clock. Dennis Morgan fields it at the 12. Struggling to get out of bounds, and he does not get out of bounds. Hit there by Marion Reeves.
21 seconds left in the game. There it is.
Well, there's a little rhubarb going on. They're questioning each other's ancestry now, I think, Frank.
Well, they just scramble around a bit. Dallas has 3 timeouts. They have 21 seconds. And after last week in Buffalo, we will hesitate to say that it's all over.
And who knows what next Monday night will bring, with Denver going into the national capital to play the men of George Allen.
Dallas will make their attempt moving from their own 18-yard line.
Do they have Hayes in the game right now?
No, it's Pearson and Richards, the wide receivers. Eagles in the prevent defense. They'll let nothing go deep if they can avoid it. It's complete to Pearson. Pearson out to midfield.
His 9th reception, Frank. What an evening he's having.
Look at him again. Now he'll find a gap in that prevent defense. Eagles playing total zone back there. He finds the hole. Staubach hits him beautifully. 14 seconds remaining. Pearson has now caught 9 for 133 yards.
And Dallas with a timeout.
And now if you're a defensive lineman, you're going to get teed up to rush that passer. You don't care about the run anymore, so you're going to be teeing off. You don't even care about that offensive guy in front of you. You're going to try to get rid of him as soon as you can and get to that passer.
Staubach over conferring with head coach Tom Landry. What is really difficult to do, and that's what you want to do, is try to go to the outside and hit your receiver, let him get out of bounds, and kill the clock. The trouble is the defenders also know that.
Well, they're coming to us in the booth, and I've got with me the executive producer of the forthcoming Frank Sinatra main event on October 13th, live from Madison Square Garden. His name, Jerry Weintraub. And if the golden one with the golden voice and the big blue eyes can produce this kind of drama and excitement for you, you've got a big show coming up.
He can. Live, the main event, October 13th. Howard Cosell and Frank Sinatra.
You're very kind. There's your plug. We got to go back to this game.
Thank you.
Jerry Weintraub, ladies and gentlemen. Gipper.
1st and 10. Dallas now down to 1 timeout. They have the ball on their own 45. They need something very dramatic, and they have it. Drew Pearson out of bounds at the 31. John Outlaw covering. There are 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Well, as we said, it's not over.
No, it's not over. Pearson has been simply unstoppable tonight.
Well, you know, the defensive backs are pumping so far back there, and they're giving them too doggone much room. You know, I don't mind them doing what they're doing, but play them a little more tighter than they're playing right now. they can still get in field goal position. You got to play a little tighter. He just beat the guy way outside. He wasn't even around him.
I think it was precisely what I was saying that they were going to try and prevent them from doing, Alex, and they just gave him too much room to the outside. Meanwhile, Mac Percival has come onto the field.
Well, it's like a week ago when Oakland tried it.
His attempt will be from about 48 yards, his field goal attempt, to tie it up and go into sudden death overtime. 7 seconds remaining on the clock.
10 receptions tonight for Mr. Pearson for 157 yards. Scoreboard shows the drama of the situation.
I'll tell you, you can imagine the churning that's going on in the stomach of Mac Percival. And again, that 10 yards coming into play so dramatically as it has in preseason play. We've seen so many fewer field goals throughout preseason and the opening week of play.
Send a letter to Alvin Pete Rozelle, will you, Gav? Thank him for these games, the schedule, as far as we've gone. I'll send him the bad notice when we get a bad one.
Craig Martin will hold at the 38. That means a 48-yard attempt. No good.
No good.
Off to the left. And 2 seconds remaining on the clock. Well, I guess we can safely say it's all over.
The Philadelphia Eagles have won this football game. And going into the season, who would have predicted that after 2 games, only one team in the Eastern Division would be unbeaten, and that team would be the St. Louis Cardinals. Mike McCormick is joyful. Tom Landry in the play of the coach's faces is disconsolate. The apparent inscrutability is there as he chews the gum, but as Frank said, things turn inside this man. Another National Football League upset on Monday Night Football.
385 yards of offense for Dallas, 167 for Philadelphia. Mac Percival on the bench should not be too dejected. A 48-yarder, possible, but not terribly realistic. That's it. Philadelphia has won their first game of the year, and Roman Gabriel takes the football off the field. Mike McCormick looking for Tom Landry, and Tom Landry heading to the locker room. And you know that this man feels this loss of the game. Hates to lose any of them, but when you dominate, as they did tonight, well, it hurts a little more. And Mike McCormick turned the Eagles around last year with a real fine finish, coming up with a 5-8-1 season. As a team, that's definitely going to be a contender, and they are for real. Philadelphia Eagles 13, the Dallas Cowboys 10. We'll be back in just a moment.
I'm a sports nut, and the thing I can't stand is the grass in the football field looking blue. I've had 3 or 4 color television sets, and Zenith is the first color television set that I've had where the colors are perfect.
In a nationwide survey, more Zenith owners said they'd buy the same brand again than did the owners of any other color TV. Listen to the experts, and you'll choose Zenith Chromacolor too.
Friday is the day of the cat. The day of the new 75s at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. The new precision-sized Mercury Monarch, 4-door sedan, and 2-door coupe. The new Mercury Grand Marquis. The new Lincoln Continental, coupe, and sedan. The new Mercury Cougar XR7. See all the new 75s, including Montego, Comet, and the elegant Mark IV. Friday, the day of the cat, at the sign of the cat.
So again, the Philadelphia Eagles have defeated the Dallas Cowboys 13-10. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football continues next Monday night when the Denver Broncos meet the Washington Redskins. The executive producer of NFL Monday Night Football is Boone Arledge. Coverage of tonight's game was produced by Don Oldmeyer, directed by Chet Forty. our technical director, Bill Morris, our associate director, Dick Buffington. Don't forget that this Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports will bring you the always popular Harlem Globetrotters performing in London. And at the mic, a former Globetrotter himself, Will Chamberlain. Also featured will be the 25th running of the famed Southern 500 stock car race from Darlington, South Carolina, featuring defending champion Cale Yarborough. That's ABC's Wide World of Sports this Saturday at 5 Eastern and Pacific Time, 4 Central, over most of these ABC stations. Once again, the final score, Philadelphia 13, Dallas 10. This is Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, Alex Karras, saying so long from the Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. There's a new spirit, a new look in the friendly skies. Catch the spirit of friendship service. The proceeding was a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.